How to treat a lady. When you first meet her, be sure to emphasize your erection. This will flatter and remind her how attractive she is. Be sure to constantly stare at her chest. She worked hard to make them look spectacular for you and get your attention, so show some respect for her hard work. Criticize her taste in music. Show her what good music sounds like, helping her cultivate improved cultural intellect. Let her pull back her own chair. She will appreciate your respect for her independence and female empowerment. And on that note, whatever you do, never ever open a door for her. If she's been standing all day, she may be too tired to shift her weight back to sit down. Extend your palm as a seat for her to sit on. Feel free to proactively reach forward to take hold of her butt to show her what a gentleman you are. Pay her the compliment of great advice. Tell her how certain outfits fail to flatter her figure or overly enhance the size of her posterior, or you've seen bigger peaks on a stock chart. Encourage her to do a couple thousand sit-ups to firm up those abs, or ab. Tell her that her fashion sense leaves much to be desired, and that her sense of home decor would make a blind man cry. This will accentuate her various shortcomings and motivate her to excel, leading to much desired self-improvement. She will thank you later. Yell and swear in her ear like Gordon Ramsay while she cooks to illustrate her lack of skill in this area, so she can chart her eventual progress as she begins that exciting new journey to self-fulfillment. Remember, the more you emphasize her flaws, the more she will say, "I love you." Those may sound like four-letter words, but through the flying saliva and screams, the only four-letter word that really counts is the one that starts with L. There's a new TikTok filter floating around out there. From Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill TikTok filter. You know, the one when the chick is down in the well and the guy's prancing around in front of the mirror, like you're wearing a partial woman's suit in the famous pose with your arms out. Is it true last year the Pentagon spent $1 trillion on Altoids?
Think of that, $1 trillion.
Have you made any deals to sell our surplus Altoids overseas?
We've made a deal with China. We've made a deal with probably 4 or 5 different countries. With the UK, it was a great deal for both, and we're in the process of making some others.
I heard President Zelensky spilled mustard on the Oval Office carpet.
Look at what this lunatic did. Look at what he did.
It turns out Joe Biden left a bunch of the Army softball gear behind in Afghanistan.
We have the best equipment in the world.
Do you know how much?
Billions and billions of dollars worth. That just shows how incompetent they were. They gave all that equipment away.
How are the guys supposed to play now?
Shouldn't have happened, but that was small compared to what we have.
The world rankings have the Brazilian nut-punching team ranked #1 ahead of ours. Can you believe that?
And they're the #1 right now, but we should be the #1.
The sports media calls our head coach little more than a retarded monkey cricking a music box.
But we have a man who's not a smart man.
How does he train his players?
You know, he gets up and he does his little thing for 5 minutes, and he goes out and he goes back to the beach.
When I make a sports bet, can you tell me how the spread works?
I'll tell you, each point is the equivalent of $300 billion.
You appointed Ron Johnson to coach the Republican tandem water skiing team. Is he doing a good job?
He's very committed. Every Republican senator is committed.
But that's going to conflict with the racquetball tournament.
You know, I sent the water down. I had to break into their water supply because they just refuse to do it. They're crazy. There's something wrong with them. They have plenty of water. They don't have droughts or anything.
I'm sorry. I'm just not a big booty kind of guy. I like a butt so tight, when I bounce a quarter off it, that thing won't stop till it gets to the moon. Look, don't smash that like button. It's fragile. Be gentle. Talk to it. Caress it. Light some scented candles and play soft music. Whisper sweet nothings in its ear and tell it everything's gonna be okay. Buy it a giant fruit basket, and whatever you do, don't bang its wife. That's just not cool. It's below the belt, literally and figuratively. Universal has already greenlit the sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth. It's due out next year and details are already leaking. It's about alien dinosaurs from outer space. Look for it next summer, called Jurassic World: Raptors from Uranus. Fantastic Four First Step sequel already greenlit, titled Still Pretty Good 4. Subsequent sequels are to be called The Above Average 4, The 4, The Very Mediocre 4, You Could Still Do a Lot Worse 4, The Flagrant Cash Grab 4, Who Are We Still Kidding 4, Throw the Fantastic Four from the Train. If you're not in a big hurry or you don't care if you live or die, they're the ones you'd call for. And finally, only Billy Baldwin would work this cheap 4, straight to cable. Renowned method method actor Daniel Day-Lewis was cast as the Skull in 28 years later. He was super method. He was so committed to his craft, he offed himself. He gave the crew permission to use his skull to present the most authentic performance of all time.
I understand there was a big debate on day one about special sauce or no special sauce on all Big Macs in the White House.
Well, this was a big one, wasn't it? This was a big decision, an amazing decision, one that we're very happy about.
Will this impact fast food condiments nationwide?
Well, you'd have to really speak to the lawyers about that, but this is really also a decision based on common sense. It didn't work the other way.
Some liberal judges ordered you to put the special sauce back on the Big Macs after you'd signed an executive order removing it.
But in recent months, we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president.
Do you resent the judges who tried to stop you from ordering that all petting zoos include orangutans on a heavy daily dose of pixie sticks?
These judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation.
Are you grateful the Supreme Court is so pro-primate and overruled the lower courts?
I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country.
The Supreme's also ruled it's okay for you to have black box cable installed in the White House. Can't you afford pay-per-view?
But I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant, and they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today.
My lawyer lost a case once because he said the word Farfignugan when he meant to say tort.
A lot of cases are lost because they don't say the right words.
Did you have the original Constitution taken to Kinko's so copies could be made and preserved? Is it still there?
The Constitution has been brought back.
Nobel Prize in Physics handed out today for the invention of the One-Moron Theory. The One-Electron Universe Theory by John Wheeler, with help from Richard Feynman, posits that every electron and positron is an expression of a single electron, jumping forward and backward in time everywhere at once. Similarly, the new theory posits that there is only one singular idiot in the whole universe, traveling forward and backward in time to commit all stupid acts ever done. This is why it might at first appear that an entire town, state, or country is full of ignorant morons doing stupid things like
run for president when you're Kamala Harris. Still call it the Goodyear blimp during COVID. Broadcast signals straight to aliens so they can enslave us. Cancel Gilligan's Island for Gunsmoke. Exile Napoleon and not keep a close eye on him. Let my girlfriend work late with her boss strictly for professional purposes. Use cyanide capsules to get rid of that toothache. Marvel Phase 4. The metric system. Use the phrase laying some pipe as innuendo. It's a vital part of our infrastructure and a perfectly noble profession with many impactful applications and should not be disrespected. Refuse to install locks on the Capitol building. Use the word fire as an adjective. Plug leaks in the Hoover Dam with ramen noodles, and not letting beavers build the Hoover Dam. If it ain't broke.
when in fact it's just the same guy over and over again in various forms who never seems to learn. It's why the metric system never goes away, and it's why The View always stays on the air. It turns out you shouldn't put overemphasized hate on Adam Schiff. He's just the same old moron you've seen 1,000 other times. And why my boss wound up with his big toe jammed up his nose because one of his employees told him it would cure his migraines after she had read it in what she took for a holistic healing magazine, but which in fact was just the tattoo behind her shoulder that she read backwards in a mirror.